You're listening to the Shipyard Cat Podcast, the unofficial SAFC podcast for fans everywhere.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the pod. It's me, Adam, the host today. Not like me to take the leading duties on a loss. I don't know what's going on there. Must be the lads having a nap on me. But we're here today to discuss the dismal defeat 3-1 at home to Fulham. Not the best of things we want to be talking about, but it needs to be done. And let's get it over and done with as quick as we can. Joining me to do it, though, we've got Kev and we've got Robin. Kev, how are you today, mate?
Can't stop laughing. No, it was a bad result, but we'll break down what went wrong, or should I say who went wrong, and then we move on to bigger and better things.
Exactly, mate. And Robin, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Oh, a bit tired. There you go. But I'm all right. We just got to get on with it, haven't we?
Indeed. Let's kick off proceedings straight away then. Obviously, as I mentioned there, the game finished 3-1. Not something we probably all didn't expect to see. But then when you look who is in the middle of the park wearing black, Mr. Poston, it made sense because he got to me. I know we keep on going about Res, but he got pretty much to me everything wrong again. I don't know if he was busy celebrating the early kickoff of Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, and Sheffield United actually relegating Sheffield Wednesday. Don't know if he was still on a high of that, or he was just incapable of doing his job. Kev, I'll start with you first because I know your thoughts on Parsons just as nice as mine. Put it politely for me.
It's just one of those scenarios, isn't it, where yet another official comes to the stadium light and makes it about them. He got multiple decisions wrong. He played almost like wanting to play the pantomime villain.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that went our way, everything that should have probably gone our way, he gave to them when it involved one of their players. Raul Jimenez did exactly what I said he would do, which was spend the entire game trying to feign head injuries and being tackled, when in fairness, the man should have been sent off in the first half for using his elbows far too often when he's jumping up. And I get, we can't jump up like stick men, but he intentionally jumps up with his arms as a weapon. Twice, I think he caught Ballard in the face. And it was only on the fourth one where the referee then finally brandished a yellow. For 3 minutes later, him to do the same thing and just get told off. Paulson's an absolute muppet. I'm afraid him, Kavanagh, and who we've got this weekend, Jared Gillett, are just a little cluster of idiots that are given officiating roles. I wouldn't even let them officiate on Bent's Park on a Saturday. But here we are. These are meant to be the elite of the elite referees.
Go on then, Robin.
Without the excuses and that, we were poor. We didn't take our chances. Let's get to that first. Fulham were clinical in front of goal where we weren't. We had the opportunities to win that game. Obviously, Mundell missing the best chance, but even though he missed it, should never have got the abuse that he did. I mean, that's just disgraceful, whoever that was. I hope the club, whoever it was, track them down and take the relevant, procedures and, ban them for life and whatever, it's just not on. We support the lads through thick and thin. But it was one of those things, we didn't take our opportunities. Yeah, if that goes in, it's a different game. But yeah, Kev's right, Jimenez got away with it too often. I think he could easily have had a second yellow card. I think he should have been booked before he was booked. The one that got me, I don't know his name, but number 16, how he didn't go in the book, I don't understand. twice in the first half he pulled players back. Now that's meant to be an automatic yellow card. You know, it's just like he just didn't get away with it, or he got away with everything. You know, the referee just didn't seem to want to brandish his cards. You know, whether or not he's got something against us. You know, with him being a Sheffield United fan. You know, really don't know, but you know, his officiating needs to be questioned. Really. I mean, but again, the VAR. You know. Ballard got hauled down in the first half in the box on a corner.
Yeah.
And obviously the difference was we didn't all go surrounding the referee. You know, which then forced the VAR to look at it even more. Yeah. Part of the rules I don't understand, you know, because it has been said that the offside's irrelevant because, you know, when the ball was played, he had hold of him, but he was in an offside position, so surely he's offside. It doesn't make sense the way that they're coming around with that, you know.
I'm glad you brought that up, Robin. I know you want to carry on with what you've got to say there, but that's perfectly what I was going to just get your guys' thoughts on. It's classed as a law, isn't it, when it comes to refereeing? That whole ethos of that, to me, as soon as I saw it, I instantly said, right, it's offside because he was in an offside position. So there you go, done and dusted. That's why probably the referees blew his whistle, play on, Roofs can kick it out, or whoever wants to take the free kick. For them to then circle the referee like a pack of seagulls, to then pester and pester the referee, and Jimenez going, come on, look, it's clear. They look at it and then go, no, because the fact being there was a pull on a shirt, it's a foul. I understand that, but at the same time, if you're going to do that as a pen, as you said, Robin, where was Ballard's in the first half? The inconsistency of VAR, yes, it helps and it works, but why are all of a sudden any decision that we get towards the box, it's never given?
Well, I mean, that, you know, we can't answer that one, I don't think. You know, it just doesn't seem to make sense. So that, you know, I mean, we've had it against, you know, various teams where it's checked and cleared within seconds. And yet other teams, they seem to get, you know, 5 minutes of looking at it to find the slightest little thing to give against us. I mean, it was like the first goal, the corner. I mean, in the build-up to the corner, there was a foul by Jimenez in the build-up, which just went unpunished. You know, it shouldn't have even got to the corner. The referee should have done his job. There was too many times. I mean, there was a follow-through later in the game where I believe that the Fulham defender actually got the ball, but he followed through with his studs up right on the shins of, was it Angulo?
Yes, then Angulo went down and he was, you could tell he was in some discomfort, wasn't he? So
yeah, and yet how many times this season have we seen players sent off for that? And there wasn't even a check. You know, and this is the thing, the inconsistencies of the whole officiating. I mean, I don't know if it's that referee or his team or, you know, whoever's in the VAR booth, or whether it's PGMOL or whatever they want to call themselves this week. You know, it's just the inconsistencies of the officiating in its entirety, I think, is what frustrates fans more than anything.
Yeah. This is where I want to get Kev's thoughts on it, because I just want to compare it to their pen to ours that we won with Dan Ballard in the second half. That, to me, for Ballard, Stonewall, Ballard had no right to get that ball twice, to be fair, in that side of the area. But he showed his brutality and strength to get past and win that ball, and then he got hurled down. Stonewall pen, I'm sure we can all agree with that. That was clear and obvious. But Kev, your thoughts on that? Surely the offside should take precedent rather than somebody just wanting to flop on the floor.
The problem I have with it is not necessarily one player being offside. It's the fact if you watch it from one of the angles, 4 Fulham players are offside as the ball is played by Wilson. 4. Not 1, 4. And yet they went, nah, nothing issued. Like, for me, that baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. Semi-automated VAR appears non-existent. And then the referee's even sent to the monitor, but they don't show the highlight from up high where it shows you half the team offside. The highlight that Pawson got to see was Brobby pulling the back of Bassey's shirt. That's all they showed. They showed the key clip to give the decision. For me, it's the entire free kick should be shown. The referee, in his defence, should be given all the facts, not the highlight reel.
Yeah.
If you show him the aerial shot and say, well, actually, Craig, we think there might be an offside in the build-up. What's your thought? Show him that bit. No lines were drawn. Nothing.
Exactly.
They didn't. They just literally showed quite a close-up photo or video, slowed down as they always do, of the players bundled together in the box. And yeah, Brobby does the wrong thing. He does pull the back of Bassey's shirt. And that's all the referee needs. The referee just needs that bit and goes, oh, yeah, he's pulled his shirt. And clearly they're moving because the ball's being played. Yeah, I'm giving the penalty. Yeah.
We have seen in other games as well. It's not given. That's where you both are spot on in regards to the inconsistency. Obviously, then, as I mentioned there, Enzo with his 4th of the season from the spot, where I'll get your take on that, Robin, because that was hit with just. I want your thoughts on obviously the pen. In fact, in the way it was emphatically put away, it was back to Enzo. It wasn't the fact being we're changing up again, like obviously DR on the weekend against Oxford. Obviously went back to Enzo. Is it possibly in FA Cup? Possibly is it that they'll want to change it up a bit, or do we think Enzo just grabbed the ball and went, that's mine?
No, I think that'll be sorted out beforehand. They might have different in the cup to what they've got in the league. I mean, but I just want to point out another inconsistency first. I mean, obviously, going back to the Fulham penalty. I mean, obviously, the first thing that Pawson sees is a still picture, which I really disagree with that because it sets your mind of going, well, there's a pull there. But the thing is, how it got me, he then goes and Brooks Brobby. Now, the Fulham player that hauled down Ballard never got booked. Now, surely if you're giving a penalty for a pull and bringing a player down, you've either got to book one of them or neither of them, or both of them or neither of them. You can't just book one and not the other, surely. That's what I mean. The inconsistencies of the whole officiating just seem to be, way off. There's some serious issues with the game.
Yeah. It's something that I'm in a massive agreement with you. It does need address, but is it going to be too little too late, or is it going to take somebody potentially, without sounding horrible, is somebody going to end up with a massive broken ankle and the game's gone on, and then referee's like, oh, well, VAR didn't stop me. Is it going to be something as bad as that? Or is it going to be fine-tuned over the years? We don't know, but we've had this now for how many years, and it still hasn't been sorted out correctly.
What I said in the preview, it's what I said in the preview was Fulham were going to be good at the dark arts in the physical game. You've got someone just needs to explain to me how Kevin gets away with all of the fouls he does, injuring 2 of our players. Regis doesn't want to be making substitutions that early for injuries that were caused by their players, for it not even to get looked at. One of them happened quite literally right in front of me, where he clearly drags his boot down the shin pad of Mukiele, and it's not reviewed. Casemiro got sent off 3 weeks ago for similar, but it's not even looked at. And this is where it's just protecting certain players. For me, I don't get how he gets away with it. Eventually, when he then hobbles his backside off the pitch for his injury, he's given the red carpet treatment by the referee. He rolled himself off and on the pitch twice, and the referee just went and stood next to him and talking to him.
Yeah.
Get off the pitch. I'm sorry, but So many things are wrong with the way Fulham play football. It's unbelievable. They're like a Millwall. They like to time waste. They like to mess about. They actually don't like playing football. That was a big thing for me, was they just seem to want to spend most of the game prattling about. Their goalkeeper, how was he not carded for time wasting from the seventh, eighth, ninth minute?
Mhm.
And also, what was the crack with the penalties? My understanding was always you're not meant to rattle the bar and move and do that sort of behaviour anymore. I thought that was ruled out years ago. 4 or 5 times he was smacking the crossbar, so it was wobbling to try and distract Enzo. And again, Pawson just almost wanted to watch the penalty.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think the less we say about the absolute shambles of a team that Fulham are, the better. The nice thing is we'll probably face them again next season, but
Yeah.
hopefully we get revenge. They're the only team so far this season to do the double over us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say? I mean, obviously, it's just like him in his penalty as well.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
the stutter penalty, but it's not even a
he
stutter. He
well, he
stops 4 times.
stopped. He actually stopped,
Yeah,
and that should have been straight away retaken. You know, it's just to say this, and I mean, yeah, the officiating was awful. I mean, it really was. But look, I mean, we were poor, you know, and we've got to be better. Basically, let's not get
ponder on it
too
too much.
distracted by the fact of that. You know, the injuries didn't help. You know, the 2 changes in the first half meant that he couldn't really change it. You know, when he should have done, he had to wait till later in the game
Mhm.
because obviously, you know, we'd made lots of substitutions. You're only allowed 3 in a game unless you do one at half time.
Yeah.
You know, but it did impact, I think, the tactics. Obviously, the team selection. I mean, obviously, in the preview, you said about playing Jocelyn and Angula, and I said, you know, you'd be mad to do that, but obviously, Labrie did it, and I think I sort of like proved him that he was mad to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because the whole balance of the team didn't look right. You know, it just, you know, maybe them players with Granit Xhaka starting the game, controlling the midfield as a quarterback sort of thing, it may have been a bit better, but, you know, the whole balance of the team just wasn't right.
Yeah. No, 100% agree. It was one of those for me where when I saw the team sheet and I saw them to start, I was like, oh, I was going to message to you lads, and when we were at the stadium, I was going to go, oh, look, I was right. But at the same time, I was like, wait a second, is it a risk? And obviously, it's turned out, yes, it was a risk, and obviously, it didn't pay off. In regards to something what Kev was saying there about Fulham didn't want to play football, the only time they played football was their third goal, which was because of the fact when we pushed everybody in the kitchen sink up front effectively to get the equaliser. They punished us on a very good counter attack. And don't get me wrong, very nice finish by Iwobi. But to me, out of their 3 goals, that was the only one they worked for. I don't know about your lads' thoughts. It sounds horrible to say it that way.
It is, but I mean, look, Jimenez should never get to that header that he scored, the first one. Like, I'm sorry, but he's absolutely unmarked, free header on a player that's renowned to be good with his head and his elbows. The pen, I agree with Robin. He stops 3 times. Well, he stops twice in the run up, but he does the whole stops thing, which I've seen in lower league stopped and given us a goal kick because it's a non-star. It shouldn't be allowed. But that's how he scores his pens. That is genuinely how he scores his penalties. He does it every time. He stops and waits until the goalkeeper makes the move and then slots it in the opposite corner, thinking he's the best striker in the world. But yeah, their third goal, just one of those, isn't it? It's just a counter attack. We go from us attacking to very, very quickly. Oh, it's in the back of our net. The only thing that frustrated me with that one, when you watch the highlights back, if anyone wants to torture themselves, half the lads are jogging back. They're not even pushing. Siddiqui, bless him, I know he's probably wrecked at that point. He's out sprinted by Hume.
Yeah.
because he just jogs. You watch him, he runs quite quick to the halfway line, but then he gets to the halfway line and just kind of plods. Whereas Hume's still trying to get back. It's one of those, isn't it? Do you take the yellow? Do you take the man out? Problem is, no one really got close enough to take him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is, mate. 3-1 loss. It's our second loss at home. Fans have gone into meltdown because they now think, oh, that's 3 losses.
Mhm.
We were probably expecting to have a little dip in performance. The players are knackered.
Mhm.
And yeah, I say we just take this one on the chin and move on. We've got, 11 games left of the season.
Mhm.
We only need a few more points to kind of say we're safe now, if we're not already classing it as safe.
Exactly. So it's going to be something we can look at, and as you said, there's progress needs to be made, but obviously, by the by, that's what Regis is there for, to obviously get these lads effectively dust yourselves off, get ready for obviously Bournemouth, which we'll be bringing the preview as soon as we're ready to this week. Lads, I want to touch on, before we wrap everything up there tonight, I want to touch on season cards. Obviously, they're now being released. It got announced, obviously, I think it was a couple of weeks ago now, that they wouldn't be auto-renewed. You had to renew it. You had to go online yourself and renew your season tickets. Yes, and all 3 of us have now got our season tickets, which is all good. The way they based it on for us, though, was however long you've been a season ticket holder would be your personalised price. Do you think that's a nice little gesture from the club and stuff like that? Because obviously the prices that came out is, if you're buying brand new, it's still reasonable. It's still cheaper than most in the Premier League, and it's even cheaper than, I would say, the top level of the Championship as well, to be fair. But what's your lads' take on the pricing?
I think it's quite a nice idea to give people a discount for the longer they've been there. Um, However, I've seen a couple of things that people that have had, tickets the same amount of time, some are getting more of a discount than others. I think there was someone who posted about, his kids and that. They're both under 22s, and one's like 20 quid cheaper than the other one, and they both got the season tickets at the same time. So I don't know if there's a glitch in the system. I mean, it was no big deal to go onto the thing and log on and do it. Obviously it's all to do with going from Ticketmaster to SeatGeek, so that's not really an issue for anyone, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a nice little touch, to be honest. Last week when the club said obviously the pricing would reflect our Premier League status, I was expecting it to be a bit more of an increase than what it was, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, no complaints from my side, really, with it.
I think it's a nice touch. It's done well. It's sort of saying thank you to those that have been kind of 3 seasons or more. Those that have decided they want to turn up now that we're in the Premier League. Thank you for attending, but also, the loyalty of those that sat there on a cold Tuesday night in League One deserve probably a little bit more recognition than those that decided to turn up after the playoff finals this year. Pricing, yeah, is it good? I would say so. Obviously it depends a little bit on what block you're in. Some are quite steep, but there is the Percocet next to the dugout. But again, to be honest, I was expecting mine to be about 800-900 quid.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was under the £800 threshold, yeah, it's a nice touch. The bit I am disappointed about, and I'm sorry you cut this short, and I'm sorry to go back.
Yeah.
Is just the fans leaving. I was so disappointed in the 70th minute to look around our ground and see so many fans had left because we were losing.
Yeah.
Like, those are the people I hope you don't renew. Give someone else a chance that will want to sit there till the 90th minute. I saw some fans having a pop at each other for clapping the players off. At the end of the day, we're in the Premier League. Support your squad. It happened at Tottenham, obviously, when they were getting thumped by Arsenal the other day. I get that. Tottenham are currently, one place above the drop zone, aren't they? They're really in the thick of it. And at 4-1 against Arsenal, their fans did start to leave. But our fans seem to have very quickly forgotten that last season we were in the Championship. So why aren't you staying till the 90th minute and seeing the lads off the pitch? Yeah, that's my only real rumble and sort of groan as well was, the fans could have stuck it out. And then obviously, yeah, like Robin said earlier, the abuse that Mundle's received is just not acceptable.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was going to lead with towards the end there about Mundle. Obviously, we all support him and stand by him and things like that. Mundle wasn't the only one, obviously, on the weekend to get that abuse. I believe it was a Wolves player and another player from another team. I do apologise, I've forgotten the name of the team who it was.
There was Chelsea. Was it Chelsea, Forest,
And
us,
Wolves, yeah.
and Wolves?
Yeah, so there's no need in the game for that at all. Like, just cut it out. Like, if you're going to be like that, get out of the stadium. Really, that's the top and bottom of it. Join those that are leaving and close the door behind you. That's the thing for me. I didn't. I know you've just brought the fans up there. The only reason why I didn't is because I rant on about it enough myself. Is the fact being that if you're leaving on the 70th minute, there's still 20 minutes of the game to go. Things can be turned round. Surprises can happen. I've alluded to it in the past, and you both agreed with me. It's Bournemouth. Things can turn around. It can happen like that. Stick to the end. See it. We're meant to be this whole till the end team. Prove it by staying there. Don't leave. Robin, I don't know if you want to chip in your little bit on that in regards to fans, because I know you're like me and Kev. You get angry when people leave early.
Well, I just don't understand it. I mean, we scored so many late goals. Last season, this season, I just don't get it. Obviously, the mass exodus was when the third went in. But yeah, look, I've never been one for leaving early. I'll pay my money. I travel a long way. I'm gonna, wait till the end. I'm gonna clap the team off. Give the referee a bit of a booing. Which he deserved. But yeah, there's no point going on about it. I think, as Kev said, they're the fans that have probably turned up this season from in the Premier League. And things aren't going their way. They're the ones that weren't there in League One and the Championship. So yeah, I mean, yeah, do we want people staying at the end? Of course we do. But you can't turn around and say to someone, well, you haven't stayed to the end, you're not worthy of your season ticket, and that it's not really fair. I mean, people have certain reasons, I suppose, why they want to go home. I mean, the thing is, though, when there's that many people, unless you leave at half time, you're not going to beat the traffic.
Exactly. Good point. Yeah, it's maddening, but we can only just hope and pray it gets better. That's the end of it, really. Lads, I generally don't think we have anything else to say because, as Kev mentioned right at the start of the pod, we don't really want to be talking and dragging on about Fulham for the entirety of the pod. So, you guys got anything to mention or throw in a random question to each other? No? Perfect.
No, I don't think of, mate. Sorry, the awkward silence there, but no, I think look, it's one of those, isn't it? We take the loss on the chin, we move on. We've renewed our season tickets. We'll be there next season. Obviously, the only thing you haven't mentioned is obviously in the red and white fan collaborative, or whatever they call it, collective. They confirmed that the away fans are staying upstairs, so to speak, for next season. I mean, is it going to change the atmosphere in the stadium if they bring them down? Probably not at the moment. You can't hear them when they're up there. I mean, Fulham, that was awful. I'm sorry, but I think you could have fit the fans on a minibus.
Exactly. But no, let's stop there then, because I know, Kev, you could rant of how much you disdain Fulham is on par with Oxford at the minute. But no, lads, thanks for joining me. Everyone listening in, it means a lot. So yeah, thank you for joining me, Robin.
Thank you, Adam, for hosting for a change.
It does, especially on a loss. I'll give it to you next week. Thanks to
Hang
you,
on, are you
Kev.
thinking we're going to lose again? That's not very
No, I'm
positive.
just saying Robin can host next one. A little wind-up matching.
Got to be, mate. Got to be. Got to stay positive about something.
Exactly. So thanks for joining me, though, Kev.
Yeah, pleasure, mate. Look, it's like I said, it's one of them results, and then we just move on.
Indeed, it is. And as ever, everybody else, we'll see you on the next one.